Everyone that has a Letterboxd account knows the feeling where you keep adding movies to your watch list, knowing full well you're never actually going to watch them. A 1950s samurai epic, a 1970s British folk horror, or the random PBS documentary about a guy raising turkeys that you know if you watch, you're gonna turn vegan. You can't casually sit down and decide to watch these movies on a random night, so you never end up watching any of them. I'm tired of seeing my watch list grow and grow without me checking any of the films off. So for this show, I'm gonna put my entire watch list on shuffle, and whatever fate decides is what I watch. Welcome to the Watchlist Roulette. How this show is going to work is I'm going to hit the shuffle on my watch list, and then whatever comes up first is what I watch. I'm going to go watch that movie, come back, do my first impressions of it, and then I'm also going to later research how the movie was made, who made it, and kind of return to it to see if my opinions have changed. Roulette, watch, reaction, research. Let's shuffle to see what we're going to do for this week, and hit it. Relay. Oh, this came out like last year. Riz Ahmed and Lily James. I heard this is actually really good, which is why it's on the watch list. No duh. So there you go. That's going to be a fun one. I've never been let down by a movie's ending so hard. That was rough. 85% of this movie is great. Solid as a rock. But the twist is so big, everything before it just kind of gets tossed aside. It's a completely different movie in the last 15 minutes. It's way more, cliche is not the word, marketable. The marketability of this movie, I think even in the trailers, running around with pistols, bang, bang, that's the last 15 minutes and not in a good way. This whole movie is a cat and mouse game with the post office, which is awesome. The thrills are empty P.O. boxes and fire alarms at the opera. Some of it's very modern and some of it is kind of calling back to old forms of the genre. Like the fact that he's typing into his phone as the phone call is a really fun premise that they like fully go for the entire movie. He abandons it only when the plot is like putting him in a corner. He's never like, I'm bored of it, I just won't do it again. He goes back to it whenever he can because it keeps him safe. It's his process. So those little quirks, weird meetings at restaurants, splitting paths at airports and post offices to throw off, the goons, the henchmen, hidden cameras, newspaper stand fiascos, paying a homeless person to grab the paper slip for you so that they don't get your face on camera. That's where this movie's really good. The cinematography of New York City, fantastic. All of the actors are great. This is probably the best Sam Worthington performance. There are like two scenes where he nails the delivery, the tone of the movie. He adds atmosphere to it. He's actually trying. He's sassy in a really fun way. And his like team of henchmen are really fun because like two of them are just kind of dumb dudes that know how to punch. And the other one is an actress that's blowing my mind. I know her from something. But she's always eating in every scene. She's pulling a Brad Pitt. She's watching Lily James from another park bench and she's sipping on a soda or like eating a hot dog or something. The henchmen, I had a great time because they're the ones on the heels. Riz Ahmed is the one that's in charge for 80% of the movie. And it's kind of fun that the good guy is the only one that is in control. And we get to watch the bad guys scramble for like an inch of evidence of who this guy is. They try to get the upper hand and they fail every time. But in a fun way, it's like you're kind of rooting for them. They're not going to win, but you want to see them try. That's where Sam Worthington and his group really nailed this movie. Is they're so angry that they're being bested, and that doesn't happen. And so they're just pissed to hell the entire time. And all the attitude that they're throwing at the phone. The coolest part of the movie is the relay service treats both sides of the espionage as their client. So they're talking to the bad guys with the money, and they're talking to the whistleblower at the same time. That's such a great idea. When Riz Ahmed's character is siding with Lily James's character, the bad guys know it because he's telling them. It's like, yeah, I got the package. You guys need to find a better parking spot. I knew you were there the whole time. That's so good. I love that. I like the personality of the camera, and the city itself is shot beautifully. There's one conference scene. The background is just fully white. These like floor to ceiling windows on a high-rise skyscraper, and the outside is so cloudy and wet and rainy, but bright, that it's completely backlighting both of the actors so well. Oh my gosh. And there's like little notes every now and again of like the train coming at the perfect time, or the restaurants being crowded with like interesting characters, and the train stations are full of people. It's just shot so well. Everything is always busy. People are always moving about, but also everyone's oblivious to what is happening right next to them. And Riz Ahmed is coming in with just like weird disguises. It's kind of like the Netflix Hitman movie where he's like, what character am I gonna be today? I'm gonna be a firefighter. Like, it's fun. They're having fun for a modern espionage movie. It's interesting to see a city as itself, or you choose the right locations to make the city feel like its own thing. This movie has so much going for it, and then it just decides to not use any of that for the ending. Because there's a big showdown in the security van. They're in a tunnel, and it's very green screen, and it's very blockbustery. I was liking the slow burn cat and mouse game. There are movies you watch where it's clear the script and the premise was like on fire for a certain runtime, and then they meet that runtime, and then they're just running on fumes to the finish line. And the question is, will they make it or not? And most of the time they don't. But a feature-length movie has to be 2 hours now. It can't be 90 minutes. If this movie was 90 minutes and it ended with the opera scene, I actually think it would be a good movie. I know it's part of the genre. Sometimes you don't need a twist, because once you're like, oh, we need a twist, you break the rest of the movie. And you shouldn't save the twist for the very, very end. I think that's ridiculous. Do it like 2/3 in at the latest. Midpoint, 2/3. That should be it. If you want to do that twist, do it way earlier. Because you had a good movie wrapped up in a bow, shipped at a post office, ready to go to Poughkeepsie. And then you're like, oh, I forgot we're a thriller. Let's throw in a twist. Bring it back, send it back, rip off the wrapping, reopen it, add in this thing. Doesn't fit? All right, get a bigger box. Like, no, stop, please. Just give me the movie itself, not this stuff that we have to add. That's what it feels like. Relay is a corporate espionage thriller set in modern-day New York that harkens back to the paranoia thrillers of the 1970s. Under the very real threat of mass surveillance, this film follows a black market broker who uses a telephone service for deaf people to protect his identity. It's a lonely life until he falls for his newest client, a whistleblower trying to escape a van full of tech-savvy hitmen. The New York Relay Service is a real call service that helps people with hearing disabilities effortlessly communicate to anyone over the phone. A deaf person can type what they want, the relay worker says it over the phone to the receiver, and whatever the receiver says back, the relay worker types it for the deaf caller. And for the purposes of this movie, all calls are confidential, no recordings, no logging customers, no paper trail, full legal privacy. Pretty good concept for an espionage thriller in the modern day. Relay's script earned a spot on the blacklist in 2019 and became Justin Piasecki's first
feature-length script to be developed. Director David Mackenzie, known for directing Taylor Sheridan's first written script, Hell or High Water, enjoys picking young writers for his projects, and decided Piaseki's script would be his next film. The script's original draft followed a broker named Tom, with lengthy voiceover narration and a complex family subplot. Mackenzie decided to drop all of that, thankfully, and intentionally made Ash, played by Riz Ahmed, an enigmatic loner with no dialogue for the first 30 minutes of the film. Paranoia thrillers from the 1970s were Mackenzie's main inspiration for the film's DNA. He doesn't name drop specific films in the interviews I watched, but there are references to The French Connection, with multiple mentions of Poughkeepsie, The Conversation, 3 Days of the Condor, and Klute. The energy of Relay successfully recreates these films with a moody atmosphere, voyeuristic camera work, and a slow-burning cat-and-mouse chase through a crowded city. Long takes of Ash slipping through crowded streets and public transit reveal both his isolation and fragile camouflage. Trust no one, always check who's following you, and never break your rules, because they're the only thing keeping you from getting caught. Filmed on location in New York and New Jersey, Mackenzie committed to the chaos by starting day one of production in the middle of Times Square. An 8-minute scene involving a newspaper stand, the production filmed amongst a real crowd, allowing genuine reactions in the background. Riz Ahmed mentioned in an interview that while filming a different scene where Sam Worthington shouts at his henchmen on the streets, real people intervened thinking they were actually fighting. New York is the best character in this entire film. Shot beautifully by Giles Nutkins, the creative team committed to keeping the city unpolished in all the best ways. With a rumored budget of $50 million, Relay premiered at TIFF in 2024. Bleecker Street picked it up for distribution and sent it to the theaters in August 2025, where it made just over $4 million. Critics, including Matt Zoller Seitz and Damon Wise, praised the inclusion of the Relay call center and old technology to fight a modern surveillance world. They also critique its full explanation of Ash's backstory, its nonsensical ending, and a blind trust that police officers have the power to stop multi-billion-dollar corporations from poisoning people nationwide. Sam Worthington's character gives a full speech about their company owning broadcast journalism to bury any leaks about their failed products. And yet the film itself doesn't have an answer against that, besides giving the documents to the NYPD. Modern thrillers surrounding corporate espionage and thugs silencing whistleblowers have a tough hurdle to jump. Audiences know this stuff happens in real life, and those in power often get away with it. Remember all the Boeing whistleblowers that died a year before cabin doors flew off mid-flight and 737s fell out of the sky? Yeah, Relay tried to get away with a fun, thrilling climax and a happy ending at the same time. Audiences and critics just didn't buy it. I will defend this movie because of the great cast, fantastic locations, and moody atmosphere. I think selling an original espionage movie is hard these days. So the big chase scene and twist reveal at the end was either to get it greenlit, raise interest for potential buyers, or was a producer note to make it more interesting. If you watch the trailers and promotional material for this movie, all the clips are from the last 15 minutes. That's just where the industry is right now. It barely excuses the ending, but I think the quality of work everyone on set put into the first 90% of this film makes it definitely worth the watch.
If you've got a movie on your watch list that you want me to check out, add it to the comments. I'll see if it's on my list. If not, I will add it to the pile. Quite literally a pile. And I'll see you next time where I spin the Watchlist Roulette and see what random movie I get to watch next.